Go.
Hello, Year 2 students. Welcome back to Miss Okay's art class. Are you excited? Because I am. Well, before we delve into visual arts, topic of natural habitats, do you like what I've drawn on the board? That is an example of what you'll be doing today, but in more colors. Before we delve into this, I would like us to pay our respects to the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting today, the Gubi country. I'm paying my respect to the elders past, present, and emerging. Now, we can get started. I would like to show us the materials. I have them all around me on the table next to me. Show us what materials we'll be needing for this art process. First off, we'll need plain sheets. I can see every one of you has theirs on the board. We'll need some watercolors, just because you would have to be able to explore. You don't necessarily have to use colored pencils. You don't have to make it exactly like mine. I want you to bring up your own ideas, but just make it as closely looking as possible to the natural world. I've got some pastels. We've worked with these before. You know, it's a bit wider. As a result of that, when you put it on your paper, it takes more space. Less time to work with. And we've got colored pencils for those who just like to work in fine lines. We're gonna step out. I've got some brushes here. Now we're gonna step out, have a look at, you can call it a mini excursion. I'm sure you're excited. We're gonna have a look at what greenery Australia has. So we look at the trees, we look at how it forms with water and what the clouds look like. Are you excited? I've picked a theme on natural habitats, sand and sea, as well as the trees that you find in the wild. I thought the first thing we should do is go out, look at nature, observe, take note of the colors, and then we can delve into our drawing for today. I can see lots of trees. This is the Osprey birdhouse. Brown, which is a color that you should take note of, as well as gray. We can see lots of green for the leaves. We can see the water is blue. We can see the sky or clouds, white and blue. I hope that you have your pencils ready. I have mine ready. I have a drawing sheet. I have my normal pencil, my drawing pencil, as well as some colored pencils. I might also be using some watercolor during this activity. I hope you're ready for this. Let's go.
Go.
Welcome back to class. How was that mini excursion? I loved it. I bet you loved it too. We're going to jump right into art making. I said before, some of us will be able to do some collage work. So you can look into your scrapbook, pick out your scissors, cut out pieces of the scrapbook. You know what colors you've seen. You saw green, you saw blue for the skies, for the clouds. You saw water. I would think the water was a bit grayish, but at the same time, it could be brown. You could incorporate colors like green, you know, make it look as natural as possible. Once again, I don't want your work to look like mine, but what I do want is an art piece that once you're done, you can show it to anybody and they know what it is that you've put together. Let's go. If you've got your erasers, make sure you put that on the desk. Now, I've got my white sheet of paper. I'm going to quickly talk us through, I'll be quickly talking us through the elements of art. I know we've gone through this before, but just as a refresher, we know we have the forms, we have the technique, we have the visual conventions, and I know you're asking me again what that means. It's the lines, it's the shapes that we draw, it's the texture of our drawing. You know, are we just going to draw? Are we going to use pencils, lead pencils, or are we going to use watercolors to make our colors brighter? All of those things are what you're going to explore with this art. Now I'm showing you a piece that I'm just going to quickly put together. Once again, make sure it looks like what we found outside. This is a beautiful drawing that I've made. So you can see I've just used my pencils to make the lines for the trees. I've used my colored pencils here. I used my erasers because Miss OK does make mistakes as well. I've tried to ensure this looks as close as possible to what we saw outside. So I saw brown backs for the trees, and that's what I've put there. That looks funny. I agree. And I've tried to make the water in different colors. So I've put yellow, I've put blue, I've put green because I was mixing colors. Remember, you should do the same. Just make sure that your work looks like what you imagine or what you've seen in the video or when we went outside. How's that? Blue skies. I love that. Now, here is another one. The collage. Beautiful work. So what I've done here, one of the scraps that we have lying around, I've cut it up, attached glue, and put it on the bottom from a water, flowing water. I've also drawn my trees with green leaves. I have my blue sky. I love this work. I can own this work. I believe anybody that sees this would immediately know that this is nature. Now, I want you guys to sit down individually and let me see what you're gonna come up with. Don't forget, feel free to look at what the videos that I've put up. Feel free to draw your lines, texture, incorporate all these elements that we've talked about over the past few weeks into your art and make sure that it's beautiful, just like you want it. And remember, art is your own personal expression. See you next class. Bye. In the bushlands. Now we're going to make some visual art. We'll be drawing or making a collage. I already have a picture that I've drawn here earlier. You saw that. We tried to use the pencils and our color pencils as well to make this. Some of you are allowed to use this, and I'll be showing us the next ones. This one I'll be making with my paper, plain paper. I have this that looks like the body of water or the sky. I'll be cutting that up to make a collage, and I'll be drawing my trees. So get ready to start. Brushes, I have scissors, I have glue, pencils, and some watercolors. Are you ready? Let's go. First thing I'll be doing is cut. Don't forget, it has to look as realistic as possible. Are you pausing?